Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of appropriate ages, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. This is the Daily Deucey podcast. For today, March 1st, we have made it through February, which was a really weird February, but bigly shout out to my boy, Daniel Joseph Staley Jr., the big 3 years old today. We also have Johnny, who's going to be 1 next month, which is really mind-blowing. Like, it feels like Daniel came home from the hospital yesterday, and he's already, like, having conversations and doing all types of advanced fucking geometry. It's kind of unbelievable. And he's, like, shredded. I honestly can't say enough about how much I love him. He's just... Both of them are just wonderful. It's Danny's birthday today, so I'll talk about Danny. And he's gorgeous, handsome, kind, a lot better than some other kids in his age range that we know that we're not going to bring up in the podcast. And also just fucking shredded. It's got a high butt, like fucking Showalter talks about. High butt, he's going big things. If you got a high butt, you're going super deep in sports, not in and if he does, whatever. I talk about this with my wife all the time. If Daniel turns out to be gay or Johnny turns out to be gay, no problem. I just really want like an heir, like not even an heir, but like an actual like blood grandchild. So if Danny or Johnny want to be a gay, preferably not like switch to a woman. I don't know how I would deal with that, but if you want to be a gay, no problem. Hopefully by the time they're old enough, we can make a baby with the two of them and put it in a lab, and we'll be good. And I'll be good to go. Now, also speaking of our kids and doing the best for them, let's get into our first story here today, which is California Teachers Union head slammed as hypocrite for taking kid to school. The head of the California Teachers Union has been blasted as a hypocrite after he was caught dropping off his 2-year-old daughter at her private preschool, despite saying it was unsafe for children to be back in classrooms and the public schools. What an asshole. Meet Matt Meyer, white man with dreads and president of the local teachers union. He's been saying it is unsafe for your kid to be back at school, all while dropping his kid off at a private school. A group known as Gorilla Moms with a Z said on Twitter. Like, this is the thing. And we actually we get into that, when we get into our North Jersey story, this almost applies in that too, but cancel culture and like this whole woke mob mentality is going to consume everyone if it's not stopped. It's not just a left versus right thing. Woke and cancel culture is going to consume everyone. So just like this guy, come on, dude. And the dreads are even worse in the video. Like, he's a super hipster white guy living in a Berkeley, which has probably got money, sending his kid to a private school, culturally appropriating black people with fucking dreadlocks. He's telling you in the public schools, your kids can't go back to school because it's not safe. But then he's sending his kids to school publicly. Meyer, the president of the Foundation for Teachers, has fought for what he called the gold standard for the educators, saying schools should only reopen to in-person learning when the teachers are vaccinated. Looking to prove a double standard, the Gorilla Moms followed Meyer and his daughter to a preschool. Matt Meyer, the president of the Federation, blocks opening public schools in person, yet has had his own child in-person school since 2020 in June. Why is it safer? So these are all Twitter things, whatever. So Meyer told Fox News that the video in which his child's face is blurred was very inappropriate and intrusion of the girl's privacy, adding that there were no public options for kids her age. What do you mean, bud? You're supposed to stay home and not work and take care of your kid because that's what you want everyone else to do. What are we talking about? Like, You don't want the schools to be open. So what are the people supposed to do with their kids? What if they can't afford to send their kid to a nice private fucking preschool? You fucking clown. Excuse my language. There are major differences in running a small preschool in a 10,000 student public school district in terms of size, facilities, public health guidance, and services that legally have to be provided. So, as long as you can afford to send them to a really small school, you're okay. That's safe. What a piece of... How do these people not realize what a disconnect they sound like to the rest of the country? A tentative plan between the school district and union would see preschoolers through second graders returning to class at the end of March and other grades staggering back through April. When do they get out? Like, what are they going to go back for, a month? You might as well just wrap it up by now. Some parents who push for early reopenings argue the schools are safe to attend without jabs for all teachers. And the CDC has agreed to that. And guess what? What if the teacher doesn't want to take the fucking vaccine? So you're mandating schools only get open when all teachers get the vaccine. What if they don't want to fucking take it, you fucking dick? For me, you don't need to attack people personally. You need to address it publicly or politically. When you start getting personal, you mix up dimensions and don't want to discuss the real thing. Okay, what do you mean, bud? The fact that these two fucking clowns, the guy himself and whoever, a former PTA council president, Mara Colesis, that the only thing they've said is that it's inappropriate to take the fucking video. Again, people in positions of power thinking they can tell you what is best for you and then going and doing something else. Just like Gavin Newsom, who supposedly, again, as of a couple days ago, got caught again at a fucking restaurant indoors when the whole county's not supposed to be fucking open. So, like, what are we talking about? These people don't give a fuck about the average people. So, I'm going to move on with this. But how about we start saying, okay, Gavin Newsom, de Blasio, like, how about these people, you don't get paid until everything's reopened. So, let's close government as well, and you don't get paid until the restaurants and the fucking gyms and the clubs and the theaters and all this stuff that you're going to try to mandate other government control of the arts. How about you don't get paid until things come open, and we'll see how fast things actually come open. Thanks. Deucey Bitcoin crypto update 12:48 on March 1st. Bitcoin bouncing back, thank God. Up 12.8% at 48,714. Ethereum up 14.77% at 1528. Ripple up 9% at 44 cents. Even Doge hanging out, being a good little popey at 7% up at around a nickel. The bullish great reset for Bitcoin. 5 things to watch in Bitcoin this week. A return to 40,000 worries weak hands, but works wonders for broader market health, data shows, as Bitcoin bounces. Boom! That's how I do it. Bitcoin is looking just stable at the start of the new week after recovering from a drop to 43,000. After last week's 20% drop from all-time highs, opinions are divided over what the future might look like for Bitcoin price action in the short term. Macro is looking to deliver a perfect storm for alternative assets led by the United States. President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion stimulus package has passed lawmakers who give the green light for yet another unfathomably large money printing exercise to begin. Traditionally a boon for Bitcoin, the huge increases in the dollar supply includes direct payments to eligible Americans for this time of $1,400. Send it on in, baby. I don't know. I'm down for Andrew Yang and like there actually being a minimum monthly income for everybody, but just like willy-nilly sending around checks to me seems kind of silly. I don't know. The third such stimulus check, or stimmy, is popularly referred to. I've never heard that before, ever. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, bud. As Cointelegraph reported in 2020, amounts equal to stimulus checks payouts began appearing on exchanges soon after regulators approved them. Absolutely, babe. And if you think we're not buying more coins with our stimmy, you got another thing coming. While it was a niche phenomenon a year ago, March 2021 is an entirely different playing field for Bitcoin and altcoins, with prices exploding and then publicity in recent months. Stocks and DXY climbing. On the topic of stocks, which much rally once again, there has been a bond sell-off last week had regulators concerned. So too is the strength of U.S. I don't really give a fuck about this. Fuck you. Trader on Bitcoin price. Relax. When Bitcoin, much attention is still being given to the dip across social media. After hitting lows of just above 43,000 over the weekend, bulls were left disappointed that the previous bottoms around 44,000 had not constituted a definitive floor. So we're kind of chilling, but we've already bounced like way back. So they wanted the floor to kind of be about the 44,000, and it was in the 43-ish thousand. All right, so I'm not even going to, this is all kind of technical shit, but we had big dips, which tends to happen often, and we're, in one day, we've already basically come back halfway. So we'll see where we're at by the end of the week. You know, if we keep going up at this point, we might even see 60,000 by the end of this week, and I sure fucking hope not. I sure hope so. Now, the story here, which is funny as well, intra-party war in Bergen County develops over Loretta Weinberg's Senate seat. The real funny thing is, like, this is her, right? Yeah. So this lady's picture has been, this exact picture has been on like 50% of the articles for like months now. So thank God this is actually her. The race to succeed Loretta Weinberg in the state Senate just turned into an old-fashioned brawl. Assemblywoman Valerie Vanieri Huddle announced Wednesday that she intends to challenge Assemblyman Gordon Johnson in the June 8th Democratic Senate primary, ending any hope among Bergen County Democrats that they could avoid what might be a nasty intra-party campaign. This is fun, because just as we were talking about in the prior California Teachers Union article, that this whole kind of woke culture is going to turn and start eating everyone. The District 37 fight will pit a man seeking to become Bergen's first black senator against a woman who says the state legislature has far too few women in its ranks. Oh, shit. Like, this sure is a fucking nasty intra-party barn burner here. And again, please, if there's any sort of racial undertones that I don't know are actually a thing with barn burner, please don't cancel me, because I just don't know. We are going to win in June, and together we're going to kick some glass, Valerie Huddle said Wednesday on Facebook. Johnson, in a statement, said that since he's announced his bid for Senate, he has seen an outpouring of support statewide. This is fun. I'm forever grateful for this opportunity to become your state senator and the first black senator to represent Bergen County. All 120 state legislative seats are on the ballot this year. Johnson has been in the Assembly since 2002 and Valerie Huddle since 2006. So the towns that are included in the 37th district is a collection of 13 Bergen towns stretching from Hackensack to the Hudson River. It's liberal bent. Democrats outnumber Republicans here more than 3-1, which means whenever a Democrat wins the primary, will likely win in November and can probably hold on to the seat as long as they want. Loretta Weinberg's been here for 16 years. So this is interesting, because on one hand, and this is why these things come back to bite you, instead of putting up solid candidates of which you firmly believe in their ethics and their intelligence and their ability to lead, when we put, and again, I will be completely fair, I don't know anything about Ms. Huddle or Mr. Johnson. They're probably wonderful, but the initial quotes and the reason this article is written is because you have one looking to be the first black senator and one saying that there's too many men. Which side is the left going to fall on in this? Are they going to side with the patriarchy, but it's a black man? Or are they going to side with the women because trust all women and women are always right, but she's also a white, I think. I don't even know, honestly. Yeah, because let's be fair here. Let's be serious. If she was a black woman, that would have been the first word in the entire fucking thing. So she's a white person, so that's a huge negative. But she's a woman, so that's a huge positive. Mr. Johnson is a man, so that's a huge negative, but he is an African American man, which is a huge positive. This is funny. It's almost as if things have come completely full circle, where you're just going to have to vote on which is the better person to do the job. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. This is the way we got to do it. We just have to start, like, everything should be a first something. There's the first Irish politician with 4 toes on his left foot, and then we need him to have a wife who is half Thai and half Cambodian, and then they have to have a kid who has a baby with someone who is half African and half Lithuanian. And then you just put these people all up against each other, and you can't have any woke side saying that they're not represented, and then we can actually get back to dealing with fucking issues again. So, like, the status quo, Vanieri Huddle said she will not allow a predetermined outcome, and she's not benefiting from the status quo of insiders in the old boys club. You think Gordy Johnson is in the old boys club, babe? What are we talking about? I can't even, I don't know. Like, it's just silly. An old Jewish lady, I'm assuming, again, I guess that makes me an ass, but Loretta Weinberg is getting replaced, and there's a battle of the sexes between a black man and a white woman, and the woke crowd probably has no idea what to do, and it's hilarious. Let's end here on something. Again, we spoke about Logan Paul. We'll quick right to it. We spoke about Logan Paul's NFT tokens that he made like millions of dollars on. So he did this big thing, and I'm pretty sure it had to do with those tokens, but he got like $1 million boxes, or these boxes of Pokemon were maybe like $40,000 each. And he pulled a fucking $2 million Pokemon card. So the Pokemon TCG has been on a rise in popularity over the last 2 years, despite being released back in 1999. YouTuber Logan Paul wanted in on the action, and since September 2020 has done a series of box opening streams in which he spends big money on getting the craziest pulls. Logan's viral posts and streams have shown a spotlight on the world of the TCG, which I don't even know what that means, and certainly seems to have had an impact on the hobby. He also doesn't look to be slowing down anytime soon, with each stream ending up more crazy than the last. Several weeks ago, the star revealed that he would be opening a first edition Pokemon box in a stream on his YouTube channel on February 27th, Pokemon's 25th anniversary, saying he was going for the Charizards. Oh, so maybe these are like original boxes, like first edition boxes. I think they cost like $40,000 each for these boxes. By the time the big day came around, fans were buzzing to see what the box would contain, both fans of the hobby as well as casual observers. Thankfully, only about 24 minutes into the stream, the YouTuber pulled his first Charizard, and he looked as ecstatic as confetti fell down, exclaiming, "My heart is beating so fast, this is crazy." This is such terrible reporting, to be honest. After 15 minutes later, Logan pulled a second Charizard, leaving viewers, and especially the star himself, in stun. Ken Golden from Golden Auctions was with Logan and Mike on the stream, and he said about the total value of the pulls from the stream, if you add in the premium, because it's the live pull, it could be close to $2 million for the cards. Fuck, man. I used to love opening boxes of cards. My dad used to go out and steal a bunch of boxes of cards, and then I would just open them. I guess as a kid, I didn't really know any better. I guess I did, but whatever. But the kid pulls 2 cards that are worth $1 million. He's got an appraiser right there. So the guy graded them 10s right there. They have live film footage of him pulling it, like, it's unbelievable. This kid is a fucking genius, man. People talk so much shit on Logan Paul because he used to just like do videos where he would just do like splits in front of people, and I don't even know if that's like his brother Jake or whatever. I don't. They're pretty much the same person to me, but the kid's doing big things, and I actually wanted to buy some of those Logan Paul tokens, and I couldn't even get my hands on them. And now he's pulling out these cards, which it's really unbelievable. First edition Pokemon cards, like, unbelievable. Well, hopefully I don't really have any cards, but I got some crypto coins, and maybe my Fortnite skins will eventually turn into something of money for the kids. But if you got your Pokemon cards and shit like that, you better keep them in good shape because all types of cards are going way up. Adios.